Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have a very hype match for you today. It is a winner's bracket round 5 match between Goomba and Relkin. And today I am joined on commentary by Lin and Megwatt, and I will hand it off to you, gentlemen.
Hello everybody, it's good to be here. And we've got an exciting match today between Goomba and Relkin, competing for entry to winner's side top 8 of this tournament. So what do you think about this matchup, Lynn?
I mean, like, I'm Goomba's friend, kinda. So, and I really think he's a very talented player. I would give him the edge, but Relkin, like, last round he kind of beat Jam.
Yeah, Relkin's been on a tear this tournament. He's gone through, I believe, Violet Pumpkin, Illuce, and Gem on his way here, and that's none of those 3 runners are simple to beat. Like Violet Pumpkin especially, I believe, has a kind of a specialty in cross keys, and Illuce and Gem are no slouch in the mode either. I believe Gem actually, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Gem win the first cross keys tournament?
I have no idea, actually. I wasn't around when it happened.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that either, but it seems we are off. Goomba gonna be going for the meta route, opening with a fake flipper down to the Witch's Hut, gonna be following up with a Hula Hand. Relkin going for something a bit different, going to take the normal opening approach towards the Uncle area, which may or may not be Uncle this time around.
Just a normal approach that an opener you do in open, basically. I mean, it's good. You have triple that can give you like bombs, for example, which are very nice.
It's a pretty valuable tree pull. Don't see that often enough. Like, I don't know why, but in cross keys, like, you almost never seem to see just bombs in a tree pull ever. But maybe that's just my experience.
Sometimes, but I usually do double, triple, like tier 3 and tier 1. I think Goomba does it as well. I'm not surprised Relkin going for another pull, because like 8 bombs. Bombs are really valuable in this mode, especially early game.
Absolutely. Which is a part of what makes this play by Goomba so valuable as well, since it gives you money. And you're going to be going into a lot of entrances, and there's a lot of shops in this game, so chances are you're going to stumble across one that sells 10 bombs. So that money helps you out by giving you an early supply of bombs should you not find it anywhere else. Relkin gonna follow up his Hyrule Castle entrance play with the exact same thing Goomba's doing now. And then probably gonna head over to the eastern area after that, since he's already done Hyrule Castle. But I suspect Goomba will be headed up to where Relkin just was a moment ago, once he's done collecting his rupees.
I think that's his opener. I mean, I have the same one. He's gonna get bombs. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do a tier 3. Oh, wait, there's only one blue card here, so might actually pull it now.
Meanwhile, Relkin's about to find the front entrance of Hookshot Cave, which Goomba found a couple minutes ago. Not much either of them can do right there, except maybe follow it, but neither of them did.
And Goomba couldn't follow it since he didn't have bombs, but...
Oh yeah, it's a fair point.
You wouldn't follow it right now.
Yeah. Not when you've got Hula Hand, like right here.
That's kind of early to follow connection, especially when they are out of the way like this.
It's a really tricky particular fake flipper going on here on Relkin's end. I think Goomba struggled with it a bit as well. Just this fake flipper in particular is just nasty.
From the right side, it's kind of nasty. You have to know that you actually have to press up and left, so you have to fake flip. It's actually easier from the left side, but that's one more transition.
Yeah, 2 more. But
yeah, 2 more.
So we get the big key of Desert Palace out of the Sanctuary entrance, which is going to be Lumberjack Tree today. So we're going to want to keep an eye out for that Hyrule Castle small key. Either that, or we will have to access the back of Escape through Aga Tower.
Something you really don't want to do.
Yeah, that's just not good. You just want to be able to dip in, get the 2 items, and then avoid the 3-minute time sink. If at all possible.
That's some nice vanilla we have there.
It wasn't doing the little dancing animation, though. I'm sad. Why doesn't the vanilla mushroom dance? It should. Right, so it's Ganon in the Lost Woods.
That's a really nice spot, I guess, next to a 7 quid point.
Relkin, meanwhile, is going straight for the Eastern Palace area, finding Hyrule Castle. Speaking of the small key. Might not be too long before we see our runners decide whether or not they want to either save scum or steal a key from the front of Escape to try to get to the back. Lots of interesting stuff so far in CAC that we have to come back to later.
I mean, it's CAC. There's a lot of entrances.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of connectors as well.
Generally, you're going to be returning to CAC very often just for connectors, especially in the early game if you have trouble finding your Moon Pearl or your Mirror. CAC's usually full of connectors. And ooh, mini Moldorm Cave on Relkin's end in the Eastern Palace area.
Yeah, Saz Hut. I mean, I can imagine Goomba going there after CAC.
Yeah, it's... If you don't have a glove after Kakariko, Eastern Palace makes the most sense as your next play if you can't find a connector to Death Mountain or anything. Just because you don't have to orphan any glove-locked locations. A lamp for Relkin. And I believe that was the right side of Desert Palace on Goomba's end.
It was. That's a very early lamp. That's really nice.
Yeah. That's going to open up a few more connectors.
That's
once we,
the left side.
And we found all 3 entrances to the front of Desert Palace now. Ooh.
That's a lot of dungeons in CAC.
Yeah, that's 2
one,
Desert Palace entrances. Misery Mire.
This one is not the one you want to see.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
no, that's not what you want to see.
Alright, it's time to go back. We gotta go in. There's gonna be something good in there.
The thing is, like, without a fire sword, I don't think it's gonna go in now.
Yeah.
But we know the lamp is available to them, so we might actually see the play.
Yep.
Not
Relkin
right now, but
will be able to make his way over there after having his lamp, so he might decide to go in, even though he lacks a big key and Canis Maria to beat it. Not that you would try with the current equipment of no sword, no hammer, basically only bombs.
I mean, you need a weapon for the whiz ropes as well.
That's true as well, yeah. Because I don't believe you can kill Wizropes with bombs or with hookshot. Yeah, Recitator pointed that out as well. You cannot kill Wizropes with bombs, so you will need at least a sword or a hammer or a fire rod or anything other than
Or a
bomb.
bow.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can kill Wizropes, but not bombs.
I didn't know about Ice Rod. Today I learned.
Ice Rod's not quite as useless as we thought it was.
But with that mushroom and hookshot, I can see Goomba going back to hookshot cave.
Yeah, I would be surprised. Like, I could see him doing the Eastern Palace area, maybe, before he goes back, but he almost certainly will be headed back almost immediately. Generally in entrance, when you pick up the mushroom, you want to try to turn that in as soon as possible, especially more so if you haven't found the potion shop yet, because when you stumble across it, there's no telling how far out of the way it would be, and so you generally just don't want to ever have to touch it again.
So that's a part we haven't seen from Goomba Sanctuary. Oh, it's also the well. We've seen that end of the connector. That's kind of uses connector, the twin.
So Goomba's going to go back, probably follow the desert connector. I don't see him going into Mire.
No, it's going to the Fairy Ascent connector.
Oh, okay. I missed this connector. Relkin is making his way over to Kakariko in the meanwhile. We'll find his hook shot, and we'll still not be able to dip Mire, but he might also check out Desert Palace, which Goomba did not. Oh, and there's the Dark World on the other end. Useful for later, but not so much for now. No Moon Pearl, no Mirror.
Yeah, not going for some body stuff, and I can get that.
Especially not this early. Bunny shenanigans in only 10 minutes is generally not an advisable idea. Except in rare situations, I guess.
If I get spat out somewhere in the pod area, I actually would tend to go on the pyramid.
Yeah, the pyramid is definitely one that would definitely be in logic if you got spat out nearby. If I got spat out on like Dark Death Mountain or something as well, I might drop down and check those 2 entrances on the bottom of East Dark Death Mountain, because those are kind of a pain to get to otherwise. Aside from that, though, yeah, so Goomba is going to be checking out Hookshot Cave. Finds his cape, but not looking like he's going to find much else.
Nope, nothing in
Yeah.
Hookshot Cave.
Relkin, meanwhile, in Desert Palace. Also with nothing, okay. But there is a hint here that we'll see.
They have the big key as well. They can check the big chest.
Oh, that's right. I missed that pickup. Ooh,
That's
that
a good hint.
is an
That is
excellent
strong.
hint.
It's also a nice connector from Hookshot Cave, because Gravis Ledge is always a location you don't really want to go to.
Yeah.
So getting a connector to that is actually very good.
The Goomba's probably going to head over to the Eastern Palace area.
Gonna have a better time than Rolkin with the Milmorum Cave with that hookshot.
But he's still not going to find that much of value aside from the lamp. Which I don't think we still have found any dark room connectors. Though we have found Hyrule Castle.
Nobody followed
was...
any.
Yeah, nobody followed any.
The thing is, with that Hyrule Castle location and Sank location, I would actually go for the scum here. Like, it's not very far from Link's house, and it's kind of easy to check.
Yeah, it's definitely super understandable.
And that's why you turn in your mushrooms, guys.
Relkin finds Meyer, realizes he can't really do anything, or realizes he doesn't really want to do anything.
That's the thing as well. Like you have a lamp, like
Yeah.
Dark Cross, like the whole sewers part is gonna be so
Yeah,
easy
Dark
to
Cross
do.
is in logic. Slightly painful to get to, but yeah, I guess yeah, I see what you're saying. It incentivizes the scum a bit more.
I mean, Kira can be a pain sometimes, especially when you only have a hookshot.
Yeah.
But now that you have a lamp, you can see it. It's just easy.
So I predict probably one or both of them will be heading back to Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, like that's definitely the next play here.
Yeah, before South Shore. Just because like you really want to try to put off those locations that have glove-locked entrances for as long as you can without the glove.
I mean, Dragon is definitely gonna go back to Hookshot Cave with a mushroom as well before
Yeah.
doing anything else. Lost a bit of time going into desert, but that's it.
Now I could see him before he finishes up his business in Kakariko. I could see him going back to desert and checking out the one remaining entrance he has not seen yet. Just to finish off Desert Palace. And
Looks like another castle play to me.
yep, that is where Goomba's headed.
Actually going
And he's going straight
to
for
the
Dark
top.
Cross.
Interesting choice.
Seems he does not plan to scum. And it's just gonna wait for his Hyrule Castle Smolky. Either that or Aga. And just the bottle, and they already had one, so this probably was not the intended use of the lamp. Probably end up finding another dark connector somewhere in South Shore, most likely.
I mean, we have Hookshot, and Hookshot gave us nothing. I'm
Yeah.
expecting to see Death Mountain.
Death Mountain, yeah, as well. Possibly also the Old Man Cave, since that would be in logic if Hyrule Castle ends up connecting to Death Mountain. Yeah, Death Mountain is definitely what you're looking for in this situation. Especially since you've got your hookshot, so you can cover pretty much all of it as far as the bottom goes. We get this TR big key. Relkin's actually going to go on a bit of a bunny adventure here. Probably just knock off a few slightly painful entrances in the Dark World.
Yeah, that's why you don't go for early bunny stuff.
Getting a little burned, paying the guy and just leaving. So I don't realistically... Well, I guess he's kind of out of options after the swamp check. So he will be done here. Probably head off over to Hookshot Cave once he's done with this.
I don't know, but part about that early bunny stuff is that the orphan hype gave and that as well.
Yep.
I mean, he's bound to come back. That's the thing. Like he's missing on 2 items right now. That's a scum.
Oh, that
Totally
is...
understandable. But you have to go back for that TR big key. That's probably what it's gonna do.
Yeah, he didn't save the key, so he has to go back at least that far anyway. So this definitely works out for him. Although I don't understand if he planned to scum to begin with, then why... I don't understand him going for Dark Cross first.
Yeah, probably the same here.
Relkin is meanwhile going for Hookshot Cave, as we figured. Not gonna find much for his trouble. The cape will be handy in case they stumble upon the top of Hyrule Castle at any point. But aside from that,
Cape is always nice to have very early.
yeah, it's definitely pretty useful in some situations, but it's not going to get you much logically. Yeah, this is kind of a... This feels like kind of a pretty decently large time loss for Goomba here.
It's only Darkrock, basically, that made him lose a bit of time.
Yeah, I still really don't understand that decision. But he is going to be checking these other two Hyrule Castle entrances, it seems, before he...
Actually, going for a Darkrock now. Because you wouldn't take it dead here. If you were gonna check the last entrance.
So it seems he's just doing this to be efficient then, since he was already walking past the left exit. Take the small risk that it would put you somewhere you can't return from, just so you don't have to walk all the way back there. Relkin, though, is finally going South Shore. We see the back of Desert, but even though he has the big key, he doesn't have any weapon to kill Lanmo with, so he's going to have to come back later. Spectacle Rock, not with much. Although it could have potential value as a connector to Death Mountain.
Yeah, it could be good. If you find the other side, it's actually a good connector. You can hook shot through here.
Yeah, once you pick up that map. So if that other side happens to be somewhere really, really nice, then that would be a... Ooh. Here we go. Speaking of connectors, we have a particularly good one over near the desert area. Okay. That was a really, really fortunate save scum on Goomba's end. We don't know what's going to put that Moon Pearl in logic, whether it's Aga Tower plus 2 Castle Tower small keys.
You have the land.
Yeah, you have a good number of the things you would reasonably expect to need for Castle Tower, but it could all just be rendered like...
Or you could just...
Yeah, it could just be
here
Hyrule
minimal.
Castle Key, yeah.
Oh, not minimal, I mean Parallax Cave. Oh.
Gonna pick up his glove. So that's gonna be really handy for him considering where he is currently. Smoky to Swamp. And I missed both of those items.
There was a map and I didn't get that.
Yeah. Dropped a couple of frames, so I didn't catch it. I'm sure he probably marked it though if it was important. Looks like a Pod small key, Swamp small key, GT small key, and then glove and map. Based on his tracker.
Back for that glove entry, which is really understandable.
Yeah, there's no way you just walk past this entrance once you pick up a glove right next to it. You have to check it. Ooh. Goomba has found Death Mountain though, and finds his mirror. Relkin, meanwhile, finding a sword. This, so it's down to 1 Hyrule Castle key or 2 Aga Smalls, and the actual location of Aga Tower to be in logic. And the boots, I suppose. Boots are pretty important too, if you want to get the backup skate that way. I still think it's just going to be the Hyrule Castle key that shows up at some point, because I really don't think it's super likely that even at this point with the sword and the lamp, that the Moon Pearl isn't locked behind just that Hyrule Castle small key. Relkin gonna go back and follow Paradox Cave. Definitely a good idea in this situation. Yeah, definitely Recitator. There's just still way too many items on the table that it's just so much more likely that Hyrule Castle Small Key is all it takes. And it'll probably be okay. It'll probably be somewhere here on Death Mountain. That's a really good find for Goomba. Gets his hammer. As well as the location of Tower of Hera. Relkin looks like he's just going to be checking a couple of well, this is actually pretty good because I forgot the well is actually in the Sanctuary drop down. So he'll be able to check this, which is Eastern Palace, and go get 5 items from the well. Yeah, Incoherent. All of Death Mountain's in Logic right now, so you could reasonably expect Hyrule Castle Small Key to be up here somewhere. Could also be in the well. There really hasn't been a lot that they've done that's locked behind the Moon Pearl. Yet. A lot of dungeons on Death Mountain, too.
That's actually a very strong hint that Goomba found.
I missed the hint. What was it?
Mr. Mario leads to a connector.
Oh.
Oh, there are the booths!
Oh my goodness. This seed's off to a pretty open start. We've got boots, we've got a hookshot, we got a glove, we got a lamp, we got a moon pearl, hammer, mirror. All in 30 minutes.
I can actually
pretty nice.
see the Hyrule Castle happening right now.
Yeah, this
in the Aga. Oh wow.
Yeah, we have 3 of the 5 pieces for Aga, missing just the 2 small keys and the location of the tower itself. But it's looking more and more likely that we're gonna find them.
And we still have a lot open to us. Like, Goomba found Ice Palace, and Relkin has Bombos and a sword. Like,
Yeah, he will get his glove before he finds Ice Palace, or he will get his hammer rather. So he'll be able to step in and almost full clear. He won't be able to pick up the big chest, but he might still be tempted to go on in.
that's true, Restador. That mirror also opens up a lot with the like, not a lot, but a few locations. Oh, there it is.
Okay. All right, so just 2 vanilla castle tower small keys, and that moon pearls in Logic. Relkin is checking out the pod area in the meantime. Finds himself Skullwoods. Okay. Not the double vanilla castle tower small key drain, unfortunately. But a big key to Misery Mire is a good compensation prize. Yeah, Mire's got 5 items in Logic right now, as Recitator points out. And given its early location and the fact that we can pretty much fully access it now, could point to the Hyrule Castle Tower key, or Hyrule Castle key, or either Castle Tower key being in there.
To be honest, I can see the castle tower happening right now. Like,
yeah, I can. There's way too many things pointing to the Castle Tower right now to be coincidence, I think. So at this point, I'm pretty convinced it's just gonna be Castle Tower. We're gonna find those 2 small keys somewhere, and that's what's gonna be Lock's your Moon Pearl. Okay, and a burnout on the pyramid. That's not too bad. Relkin does need to go back to Hyrule Castle, though, so he can find his way to Death Mountain. Probably doing it now, if this isn't a play down to the Zora area. Oh, no, never mind. He'll find his way to Death Mountain a different way.
But he doesn't have the mirror.
That is a good point. He does have the hookshot, though, and mirror's only just on the bottom of East Death Mountain, so he'll just... Oh, never mind. He doesn't need it. At least not yet. So he's going to get his hammer up here, along with his mirror. Only thing he'll be missing... Only major thing he'll be missing that Goomba already has is the Moon Pearl. Which might be locked behind a bit of a sequence, depending on where those two Castle Tower keys could be, or the Hyrule Castle key.
That's actually a lot of items, really. That's amazing.
Yeah, for 30 minutes, this is a pretty ridiculously loaded seed. Does look a bit dry. Does look a bit dry on keys so far, though.
So
So for all these
Goomba,
items, they're getting not
Goomba's
getting a lot of
going to
keys.
the Dark Lumberjack through Hyrule Castle. You have the mirror, you have the pearl, so
Yeah.
Dark World it is.
As soon as you got Mirror and Moon Pearl, you pretty much want to make your way to the Dark World as soon as possible, for efficiency's sake.
Unfortunately, until he finds like another mini Molder mentions, because I actually don't see him taking that one anytime soon. The one Relkin did.
Yeah. So he's going to be locked out of both his gloves and his boots by extension for a little bit longer. Relkin getting a little bit trolled by these dead rocks over here. And pretty dangerous too, considering he's only on one heart. But that Cane of Burden is going to come in handy. Oh, careful.
I just surprised he's going for the kill.
Goomba.
Like you have two keys, right?
Right.
With that low equipment, you just ignore the pokey and go straight for the chest. If you have those two keys, I think. And
Yeah.
low equipment like this.
Because you honestly don't really end up spending a whole lot of Turtle Rock small keys, except for the rare occasion where it's meant to be used as a connector. But they don't even have Canis Maria to make good use of that, so probably just best to spend that key instead of worrying about the pokey, like you said with low equipment. Small key to Skullwoods. So that gives Goomba the ability to just go ahead and kill Mothula once he makes his way down to South Dark World.
So the real question is it going in? Oh, it doesn't have magic, so I guess it's a no. Wow. Wow.
So Relkin's about to find his mirror and be almost fully equipped. Just gonna be missing that Moon Pearl. Goomba's gonna get a chance to check out most of the top of Death Mountain here. I don't know if I'd follow this connector right away. I'd probably mirror first, but... Oh, okay, this is pretty good. Not so good that I'll have to leave the entrance under the rock behind, but still good to know.
It's living 2 entrances right now.
Yeah. Potentially rough to get back to. Since the series of connectors to get there wasn't exactly super accessible.
Relkin didn't get his mirror?
Did he not get his mirror? What happened? Did he...
He got spat out of a connect, don't remember which one, and he quit.
I saw him
going back. He didn't get
okay. Yeah, it's a little weird. I think last what I saw on the screen, he was just like halfway through the old man connector. Or not the old man, the old man cave. Oh, he's taking this opportunity to check out the top of that mountain. I can understand this then. This makes sense. Goomba though, Goomba's found GT now and has the equipment to go ahead and go full left.
That's gonna be rough though.
Yeah, 3 small keys though. Definitely makes you think something's probably going to be over here.
But Armor's Knights with his equipment gotta be very rough.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's 4.
That's the
another key.
Well, actually, that's only 3. Yeah, because he picked up the one out of the pot. Okay. So the Armos fight will be slightly more manageable if he manages to find a sword somewhere in here. Because Fighter Sword, while not ideal for the Ice Armos fight, it works. And that's really all you need, is something that works. Something that's not Boomerang. So there's Relkin's mirror. Now he's going to be feeling pretty good about his options. But once again, those options may lead him away from Hyrule Castle, where he really needs to go, and make the decision to scum the key to get to the back.
Well, Blue Mail doesn't make Armor's Knight better. Unfortunately for Goomba.
He's got one last chance to find something helpful. Otherwise, he's going to be stuck using the hammer the whole fight. I'm not even sure he would stick around for that, considering how long it would take. He might just opt to try to come back later with the Cane of Samaria. Especially since you're probably going to be coming back down here anyway, once you find the GT Big Key.
Yeah, Relkin's definitely gonna scum the key here. Like, you have boots, you have the equipment to just scum the key right now.
Yeah. Especially now, since you've got so much of the stuff pointing you towards the Aga Tower climb, that you really kind of want to see what it's locking, because you don't want to follow through with what you think the game is going to make you do. Goomba's going for it, though. Hammer Ice Armos. Not ideal. Bombs are helpful, though. The bee is not. Relkin is scumming.
I don't think he wanna waste time on this one, I guess. Like there's still 6 of them, and
Yeah, he's not going back for that.
I already checked the top of the mountain though. Don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna drop here. Understandable.
Oh, that's a
You're
nice
not going for
hit.
that. You're not going for TR small.
Right, so Relkin probably about to reset here. That is absolutely the correct decision to make. You'll be rewarded pretty massively for it. He just has to go back like right away.
Not.
Nope. Okay. The sooner he goes back for that Moon Pearl, though, the sooner he's in a phenomenal position for how early he is in the seed. He gets have some really efficient routing, get a lot done, not leave much behind. But it seems like it'll take some time for him to get over there.
Nah, I think he'll go back now. He just wanted to do the dig spot because he had the shovel.
Okay, yeah. Looks like this is exactly what he's doing. So he'll be in a pretty phenomenal position now. Goomba, meanwhile, still looking for his glove to be in the same position that Relkin's in. And is this the Skull Woods play from Goomba? He doesn't have a big key or a fire rod. This is unusual for him as somebody who knows Goomba's usual routing regarding Skull Woods. But here comes Relkin's Moon Pearl. He'll be extremely happy to see that.
He's in a really good spot right now.
He really is.
Like boots, moonpool, mirror, hammer, glove, hookshot.
Relkin headed for the Dark World. About to be in the same location roughly that Goomba is. What is Goomba's plan here? It's just really weird that he goes for Skull Woods like this. Like, is there a nearby connector that I'm forgetting about that easily puts him back over here?
No, I mean,
might be.
the Arrow Castle one, but that's it. It's still far in my opinion.
Well, either way, it's at the very least, it's not an awful Skull Woods, where the single entrance is not in the back, so that's nice. that might have just been his plan to actually see if it was bullshit woods, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
And
if it
then
was
bail out on it
bullshit
if-
woods, I don't think he would have gone in.
Yeah. So he's gonna check out Mimic Cave. Relkin gonna do the exact same thing. And our two runners are gonna high five here.
Fortunately, Relkin will have to go back where he left stuff.
Yeah, as good of a position as he is in right now, he did a lot of inefficient routing by just doing a whole lot of bunny exploration early on, and ended up orphaning a bunch of stuff that he's now going to have to double back for. But he still is in this position earlier than Goomba is, so that's very good for him, and for now it's an advantage. And he gets his Ice Palace big key, putting and the cane. So that puts full clearing Ice Palace on the table. A bit nasty without a small key, but I can see it in the near future for Relkin. Possibly also the Mire full clear, since that is completable as well.
That's a bit rough now, like 4 hearts.
Yeah.
Fighter sword?
Yeah, the equipment's a bit lacking. But other than that, there's a lot you can do in there. And on top of that, it's all fully in logic. So even if the runners aren't going for it, it's gotta at least be on their minds. And oh, Goomba is actually, in fact, going for it. 5 hearts, blue mail, fighter sword. No, actually, no sword for Goomba yet. He has not. Yeah, he has not been to South Light World. If he plans to go all the way to Vidi, this is going to be a bit of a long haul.
I can't see him leave. Like, it's just in cat.
Yeah.
Whenever you get your flute somewhere, if you do get it, because you know there's a connector to Mire, there might actually not be a flute until very late.
Ooh, Relkin finds his bow.
That would help for Vidi, I guess.
Yeah, that's gonna make Vidi a lot more manageable. So that early glove is netting Relkin a lot of advantages right now. It's already gotten him his first sword and the boots. Now it's gotten him his bow. It's a very meaningful glove that he's got over Goomba right now.
With all those TR small keys, like
There it
Laser
is.
Bridge is like
There's one of two.
Laser Bridge is in logic.
That is true with all those TR small keys we've got. Relkin may be making his way there shortly after he finishes everything else here in Turtle Rock. And yeah, Recitator makes a good point that Mire is locked behind that the Moon Pearl is locked behind 2 more Mire small keys, as well as the remaining Castle Tower key, which we have not yet found. Relkin gets his vanilla-ish small key. Having a bit of trouble in the Chomp's room. But he's got to be careful with only 2 hearts. Oh! Because that'll happen. Yeah, that's not so good.
What was they playing? There's nothing in that. That's okay, another key.
That's another Meyer small key. So 1 more Meyer small key and 1 more Castle Tower small key for that Moon Pearl to be fully in logic.
Yeah, the way it's going, Goomba's not going for it right now. I mean, understandable. You don't really want to fight.
He already sank about a minute into the Hammer Ice Armos fight before taking a death. That's a good seed. This is a very interesting seed.
Oh, because we're actually in Maya? Are you kidding me? I mean, we have a whole lot open in logic without the Pearl right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last Mario Small to put everything in logic.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just the Tower of Hera small key. That was locked behind Kane from the Dark World anyway, so it wouldn't have been.
Actually, went back and surprised he did with the number of keys you have, and knowing where the front of the cure is, I would have just left.
Yeah, and try to come back with the Fire Rod probably. So at this point, it shouldn't be too long before Goomba makes his way down to the South Shore, and is able to locate Paradox Cave to find his glove. And he's considering going to Laser Bridge, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's got enough TR small keys to cover it, so.
Yep, that's a Laser Bridge play.
Yep.
I mean, you checked everything, you still have 1 key. That's totally fine to check.
It did only happen because he managed to find a small key in the big chest, or the big key chest rather, which was pretty nicely timed. Makes slightly more efficient routing out of this.
Actually, I'm looking at Goomba's tracker, map tracker, and like one day he asked me, "Why do you have a lot of eaters at one spot?" And I said, "Because I know I won't have to forget if I put a lot." And now I see a lot of eaters on
the well.
on the well. So I don't think it's gonna skip the boost for long.
I should hope not. Okay, Relkin gonna take a depth warp instead of checking where that Laser Bridge entrance leads.
Interesting. I mean, especially when you have like the full Dark World, so like he does.
Yeah, that's fair. He does kind of have a route going on at the moment anyway, and he'd probably hate to lose it to something stupid like Laser Bridge and Ganon's Tower. So Swamp Palace is our green pendant today.
Ooh.
An Ice Palace small key for relkin. That
Ew.
makes Ice Palace about as attractive as it could ever be. You got the big key, got a small key, and you can full clear. That's a good time to go to Ice Palace, I'd say.
Oh, I would agree with that statement.
Don't even need the bomb jump. Goomba is going to go for the landmo kill now, since he's finding it long after relkin did and actually has a weapon for it.
Not the ideal weapon, but still a weapon.
Yeah. It's not nearly as bad as Hammer Ice Armos or Hammer Vidi. It's definitely very manageable without losing too much time. A little bit of trouble taking some hits, but otherwise, pretty smooth hammer landmo.
What's smooth fire, yeah, for sure.
And for a single arrow. But a crystal.
Crystal, it's fine.
So it's
I mean,
worthwhile.
we knew about it. It's 5-6 crystal and found the bomb shot, but
Yep.
Probably why he did it so early.
I don't believe we've had any hints regarding the bomb shop. Or the, the crack in the pyramid. So it's still something that needs to be taken into consideration given the relatively, well, Goomba doesn't know it yet, but the relatively early availability of both 5-6 crystals. Goomba's still missing his glove to make Ice Palace a reality, but he will be getting it very shortly at this rate.
Alright, Goomba heading to Paradox Cave.
This will be a very good Paradox Cave for him. He'll probably come right back out, find his first sword, and then probably do the same thing Relkin did, go over to check out the desert area, and then come back and follow the connectors. What?
Pretty sure
Oh,
he's checking
that
desert
probably is
first,
his plan immediately before
so
even,
he
yeah,
can
okay.
follow
Makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Although he will come out of
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna come back out anyway, but not gonna go check out the ledge item. I don't remember what the ledge item was, actually. Do you remember what that was? I'm pretty sure Relkin took a look at it.
I don't remember,
Yeah, I
actually.
can't either. Couldn't have been that important then, right?
I guess.
Small key, red rupee. I think small key rings a bell. It might have been a small key. Maybe. I honestly can't remember. Yeah, Bumper Ledge had a small key. Can't remember for the life of me what Desert Ledge had though.
If Goomba, another entrance of Paradox really leads to Bumper Cave, Goomba's gonna actually get his bow, and he will be closer to his boots.
Yeah. Is Goomba gonna be going back or not for the one entrance? Oh. He's gonna find this, which I believe Relkin's already found.
He didn't find it, but there's
Did he not?
pod up there. He never went in Paradox Cave. Like he went to desert, and he saved and quit from desert.
Oh, that's right.
I believe that spot here. Interesting choice. But not that bad, I guess. But where was that piece down? Oh, okay.
So we're gonna see a bit more Palace of Darkness in Goomba's End than we saw from Relkin
I don't
earlier.
remember if they had a potion in those bottles, but
Yeah, I think Relkin just like grabbed the first chest and dipped.
nope, no bottle. So that's Mimic Clip coming right here. I think that's good for him, kinda. Since you know where the bow is, and she's kind of far away right now.
I think Relkin's stream is just lagging a bit. And seems to be cleared up now. But I didn't catch any of the first 4 items
So
of
apparently
Thieves
he has
Town
a
as a result.
Thieves Town big. Might have found it in Thieves Town actually, because like I don't think we've seen that yet.
Yeah, it wasn't marked beforehand, so I'm willing to guess it was probably just in the front of Thieves Town in that case. We'll see once Goomba goes there, but that seems to be the case, yeah. Relkin running at a solid 60 frames per minute.
I mean, we did see there. He told me like Seth's tracker actually making his game lag as well. Oh, that's
I've
another
never
sword.
experienced that myself. Ooh, another sword. So that's Goomba's first sword. Since it seems like he won't be going back for the first sword that Relkin got for a little while.
I'm
Or
actually
at least
surprised
not
he
until he's
doesn't.
cleared pod. Sorry?
I'm actually surprised he didn't go back before
Yeah.
checking the connectors.
It's like you never know what kind of adventure you're gonna go on when you follow some connectors. So yeah, I figured he would have at least gone back for that first. The big key to Palace of Darkness in the Thieves Town attic. Big key to Swamp in the Pod Dark Basement. Potentially useful. No way to know yet, though. So relkin's going to be benefiting pretty well once he comes back to pod with the extra small key and now the big key.
He's offering an item though in T-Town.
Yeah. That's the only catch with his current decisions.
But at the
Could
same
come
time,
back to bite him,
Keysound
but-
is kind of...
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
That's really
what-
good.
That's
a
in
really
logic
good
as well. That's the only chest in logic where you don't have the small key and it's actually in logic.
Yep. So, although unlikely, we might even end up seeing a scenario where the double dip is required for the big chest, even if there's nothing actually in the big chest itself.
Yet another sword. That's the connector.
Oh, there's
yeah.
fire. Okay, that's potentially a big deal.
That's actually very good for Goomba because he's gonna have that paradox cave again, very close to him.
And he'll get his tempered sword and be able to check the other exit.
So we have all our pendants and crystals from relkin. Like we know every single one of them.
So it was 20 rupees on Desert Ledge after all. I believe that was Recitator who remembered that, even though he wasn't sure he remembered that. Now we've got Blind's Hut, and we're also getting a catfish check at the same time. It'd be pretty interesting if Mitts end up being over here. Just because of the implied...
Megawatt, please! That's a really nice call. But at the same time, following this connector kind of makes sense. Like, you already checked the mountain. So, like, going through... Oh, that's actually very good.
Now, fortunately for Relkin, I don't think he'll get burned by that too badly, given the location of Palace of Darkness. He will have to go back there at some point, and will likely be able to pick off that connector once he's up there.
He's very far from Minimoldum Kit, though, because you have to go through Minimoldum Kit to access that.
Yeah. So he's a ways away from it, but he does have incentive to go back there. And so he will benefit from that incentive as well. We've been looking for that one.
So that's actually again logic, because you actually need the Moon Pearl to get here. Since you have to go through Paradox Cave, use the cave or the hookshot to get into Bumper Ledge.
Yep.
So that actually confirms the Aga required for the Moon Pearl.
Gonna be getting a map check. I believe his first one, because it seems.
So we're actually gonna see the two entrances Goomba left here. We're gonna see a whole bunch of GT as well.
Yeah, basically all of the left side, with the exception of Ice Armos. But at this point, either one of them can go back and pretty easily defeat him at this point. Yeah, it's pretty likely the third Myra key is just an Ice Palace at this point, since we have not... Since neither runner has set foot in there, even though both of them have been able to full clear it for a good while now. Well, okay, Goomba less so because he only recently got his glove, I suppose, but... It's tempered for Goomba. And... about to see the other entrance he left behind over by Ice
it's
Rug.
not a real problem because GT is here, so he will check it at some point.
Yeah.
But the other one was nothing.
And this one is also nothing. So, although Goomba will probably go back for those 2 entrances at some point, he is fine to have skipped them for now.
I would say, like, I would orphan the one in Dark Shopping Mall.
Dark World?
Yeah. Like, GT's there, you're gonna go there eventually.
Yeah, that's a fair
It's GT.
Goomba suddenly finds himself doing the Smith chain against his will.
Going back up, so going back for the bow, going back for the boots.
This is going to be very good for him. Put him a lot closer to where Relkin is. Even though I think at this point Relkin has a decent bit of a lead. Not in crystals, but just in items and keys otherwise. I think Relkin's got a bit of an advantage here at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And even more if there's something behind those armors.
Yeah. If it ends up being, like, what are we missing? Eastern Big Key, Hera Big Key. Flippers? No, not flippers. Just those two in the Ice Rod, I think. On Relkin's end.
Goomba's sprite is Abigail from Stardew Valley.
And there's all 4 swords. Here come Goomba's boots. Probably feels a little bit late to those.
But where was the fire rod again?
Fire Rod was Thieves' Town Maiden Chest.
Oh yeah, sure. That's what put Relkin a lot in the lead, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty major deal. Although I don't believe Goomba has found Thieves' Town just yet. But without the small key, he might not be tempted to go all the way back once he does.
He will find it.
Problematic.
I don't think you will follow that Super Bunny connector.
Yeah, I don't remember where it led either. If the other side is accessible on its own or not.
Goomba knows about dependence as well now. I don't know if he'll go. I mean...
Yeah, so Goomba realizes he's now 2 big keys and 2 rods from Go Mode. So really at this point, the only thing Relkin has on Goomba is that Fire Rod. But he's also got a decent number of checks that Goomba does not under his belt as well. Even though I do see Goomba heading back to GT on his current route.
He will.
Probably checking out Thieves
Definitely
Town.
will. I don't know if he's gonna beat Thieves Town though. Like all the way.
He might be tempted just because he won't. He'll get everything except for the big chest. He won't lose the smith because it's dependent. I could see him doing it, but there's a pretty decent chance he won't.
Hey, it was there.
Yep,
It was
okay,
actually
first chest. He will not lose the Smith Hamza because of the Maiden. That's a good point. So he actually would, I believe. I didn't consider the Maiden. That's a good point.
Then he won't go to the back, I think. He won't.
Yeah, that'll
So
keep
that's
him
nice.
out of the back. Almost definitely. And it's a bit rough to return to as well. I believe that's what would happen. Yeah, Hamsta.
Oh,
He might be going for it. He is going
he
for
is
it.
going for
Okay.
it.
So he'll get his fire rod. At the very least.
Can you have a bow? So let's see. What did Goomba miss?
Missed a compass. 20 bucks. And a blue boomerang. That would have been nice to have before the Armos fight, you know? Would have made it much more manageable.
So not a whole lot actually in GD that Goomba left. For now.
Yeah,
Assuming
nothing.
He's not going back, but I think it will go back after he's done here. I believe Relkin is going to the pod area that we haven't seen yet.
I actually believe he went and explored the pod area as a bunny, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Because he did end up checking the pyramid super early.
that's true, that's true.
So Goomba not just mirroring out after the attic, so he does tend to lose the smith and clear the dungeon. Yeah, and Resuscitator makes a good point. It's not that hard to get the smith back. He's got mitts. He doesn't have a flute, but Sanctuary's not in a bad location. He can pretty easily get back to Kakariko.
It's easier to get the smith back than going back to T-Sound where it is.
Yeah, that's probably what he's thinking too. So the smith's gone.
The smith is like near Lake Halia, but near Link's house.
Yeah, that sounds right. He's gonna get his fire rod.
But she'll be happy that he made the choice of going in. Actually puts a lot. Yeah, they're kind of even right now. It's just that Relkin did GT.
Relkin does have the pod big Ak. I believe that's just mismarked.
But Podbag was in Thieves Town, right?
Yes, it was in the attic. So at this point, Goomba probably fake flippers over to Dark Shopping Mall area.
Check Catfish, but yeah, oh.
Yeah, after
Fake
checking
flipper.
Catfish. And Relkin looks like he's gonna start diving some dungeons, starting with Skullwoods, probably moving on to Ice Palace or Mire next.
Ice Palace and Mire look really, really good at the moment. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen 7 checks up Mire.
We've seen nothing of Ice Palace, though. So if he decides to go there before Mire, then everything's gonna be brand new. And we can probably expect to see our remaining Mire small key there, but aside from that, that's 7 other things we don't know yet.
We know Ice Palace Big is a boss, right? Big chest. I think there was a hint for that one.
No, I believe...
Yeah, there was a hint for
Was it Ice Palace? Or was it Thieves Town?
It
might actually be Thieves Town.
I think it was Ice Palace and it was a bust. I don't remember what it was, but if I didn't remember, it was nothing relevant.
So Goomba probably going to go back into GT, as well as check these 2 entrances he orphaned. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to get much from it. And on top of that, he does not have the Ganon's Tower Big Key, so he won't... Oh, is he following a connector?
There's an entrance here.
Oh, because, yeah, this entrance as well. So he's probably just headed straight back.
I don't know if relkin... That's a piece of information that relkin doesn't have. He doesn't know where Swamp is.
Yeah, that's a good point. It ended up being in the Mire area, right?
Nope, it's at the bottom of Dark Death Mountain, East Dark Death Mountain.
Oh, that's true.
And
so he
the
still
dam
does have to find... Oh yeah, the dam's in the Mire area.
And it needs to go back to Parallax Cave to get there.
Yes, that is... Yeah, because the mitts are over there as well. So that is one advantage, probably the only advantage Goomba has over relkin at the moment. Aside from his mitts, but they're basically the same advantage. Because once you do one, you've got both. Relkin gonna go for the Mire full clear though. Yeah, may not need it, but Swamp's 10 items. We gotta find the small key first, obviously, but once we do, any one of our... Do we? Who's got
Goomba has it. And
Goomba has
it as well.
Oh, they both do. Oh, I'm looking at the big key. Yeah.
We don't have flippers, that's the thing.
Yeah. So we still need flippers, is what's actually keeping us out of Swamp.
Yeah, left side swamp is dead. There was a TR small key required in logic.
Side swamp is... we got a hint inside swamp that left side swamp is dead. Just a TR key and yeah.
Required in logic, but I don't think all runners want to get that TR small, especially when they already have 3.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very far from required for either one of them. So take 2 on Ice Armos for Goomba here. And relkin's going to be finding his other Castle Tower small key in a moment. I mean, basically at this point we're just waiting for them to go to Ice Palace and find the remaining Mire small key. And then we'll finally be back in logic. After all this time.
I'm not sure about the 3rd one yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think we ever saw the 3rd one.
And now, like, I can see Goomba going for dungeons. Like, we're gonna see Ice, we're gonna see Mire. We're gonna see the top of the castle first, I guess. Oh. Walk on water.
So yeah, this is him heading back to check out the top of Hyrule Castle. Or, yeah, also the pod area, which I don't think he's done.
We found all our dungeons already, so that's good for a runners, but I
Including
don't
the
see
dam
them.
for Swamp. Are there any like big item caves we haven't seen yet that would potentially be locked behind the
No, I think we
pits?
saw them all. Like High Kids was very early. We know the mates were in Blind's hut, which is that's it. And Mini Moldum was very early as well. It's in Sad's hut. And obviously Paradox Cave.
Oh, it seems we actually have seen all 3 of our Misery Mire keys. The other 2 being, well, 1 in Misery Mire, the other 2 being at the shovel spot, and 1 in GT. So, nothing new off of Vitreous. But Relkin probably is about to head over to Ice Palace,
Yeah,
which we've seen
definitely.
absolutely nothing of. Goomba finds the other end of
Although
Super Bunny Cave, which
Ice
he skipped
Palace
over.
is kinda not far. Because you have that old man saving quit point where you can hookshot because it's on Death Mountain.
Right.
It's coming the desert key. That means probably want to save and quit after that. So sure. Doesn't have a lot of health as well. Only Goomba knows about that, I guess. Relkin doesn't know yet. Since he hasn't found the Hyrule Castle. But yeah, I mean, he has the items to get there. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
He just has to follow those couple of connectors. And nothing good on the right side of desert. So he's gonna be keeping that small key for Landmo.
That's not ice. I guess desert first. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably fresh on his mind considering the save scum, so. It doesn't really get much faster than this. He's got
Going
Fire
back.
Rod, half magic. Goomba finally been checking out Desert Palace though. Since he's
Classic.
got classic
It's going
putting
back
off
to
the
CAG.
balance.
He's going back to CAG right now. I guess it's going for Meyer after that. Oh, we had.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty sure it was the Thief Stamping chest.
I think we had something for ice as well. No, pretty sure we got something for ice.
No Hamza, I believe the second Castle Tower item has not yet been checked. I don't think Adam has been back to Death Mountain in a while.
They will check it when they go to ice.
Yeah.
I would assume it.
Well, Relkin just picked up both of his Castle Tower keys, but Goomba has not been
Although
back.
I can understand why they're not going to Ice Palace yet. They might also want the Hera Big Key.
That's a fair point, yeah. At this point, though, I'd say it's likely that it's either in there or locked behind something that's in there. Like, say, Flippers, and then Hera Big Keys in Swamp. So right now, these two are actually pretty close together.
That's the ice play, I think, right there.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice play from Relkin. But he just grabbed his third crystal. Goomba's about to grab his third, and probably is going to be heading to the exact same place.
They're actually pretty even, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because of the Maya play from Goomba, where he got the mids. That's
definitely caught up as compared to 30 minutes ago.
And that sword advantage definitely gonna pay off in ice, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna make a big difference in Ice Palace.
I don't think Relkin going to bot before ice. There was a big key of Swamp, I guess.
Yeah, Swamp Big Key, which we've yet to see any value for, but other than that, just swords out of pod. So far, I'm pretty sure. Well, yes, and half magic.
Also, like, Viri was way faster for Goomba with that gold sword and dashes. Goomba will also be able to check Turtle Rock entrance.
That is one of our 3 Go Mode items for both runners, just sitting in the first chest of Ice Palace. So all Relkin needs now are the Hera Big Key and the Ice Rod, and he's in Go Mode. But this also has not been checked, I'm pretty sure, right? What Goomba's doing now.
Relkin didn't do it, right? He didn't.
No, he hasn't come back here with the Fire Rod. That's a good hint in Ice Palace. Crack on the pyramid is pretty worthless. Ooh! So once Goomba goes to Ice Palace, he will be one item, the Ice Rod of all things, for Go Mode.
I mean, he's going to do Hera before ice. That's the thing.
Yeah. So that one check paying off for Goomba, letting him route more efficiently, knocking out Hera and Ice in one trip to Death Mountain.
Goomba yet by a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, there's no telling when it'll be best for Relkin to go back to Turtle Rock for that.
In Kagan, they have nothing. They don't have any. They don't have the flute, and they don't have
exactly. Yeah.
To go back to bot. I mean to T-Rock.
So we still have a lot left of Ice Palace to see, as well as everything else in Tower of Hera. If Ice Rod shows up anywhere, then Goomba's probably going to be hitting Go Mode in like the next 5 to 10 minutes.
That's a really, really good pace for an entrance seed.
Yeah, considering we're only at 135 at the moment. Of course, there is no shortage of entrance seeds that are one item for Go Mode for 30 plus minutes, so it could easily turn into one of those as well.
But of course, I'm pretty sure we're gonna find the flippers before you find the ice rod.
Yeah, I'd say it's statistically likely at this point.
And the GTP key as well.
Oh boy. So it's either going to be a very simple ice rod on cold stare, or it's going to be a long string of things culminating in a GT climb. There's no in between. Nothing in Hera though, and only a couple things left to check in Ice Palace, so looking like the ice rod's not going to show up here. Oh, there's Hera basement left still. That's the thing. I don't believe either runner has done, at least not Hobo, but possibly not also, I want to say neither runner has done anything in Sora's Domain either. Oh, relkin checked Zora, okay. But I still don't believe we've seen Hobo. Goomba jumping right past Ice Palace. And here comes the cold stare fight, so we will know very shortly if Goomba is about to hit go mode. That would be a no. So relkin is safe for now. If that was the ice rod, then that's pretty much GG for Goomba. Unless he goes back to Turtle Rock like immediately. But his next stop is probably going to be Eastern Palace. That or Pod, if I had to guess. Considering he has a bit more left to do there than Goomba does. Yeah, as far as Pod's concerned, we still have not seen Harmless Hellway, we have not seen the big chest, we have not seen Helmasaur, and we have not seen the big key chest. And I can't remember if... I don't think he did, but Stalfos Basement might also be unchecked at the moment. So there's as many as 5 things in Pod that we don't know what it could be. So Goomba, despite being one item for go mode, is still going to go for the full Ice Palace clear, just in case Ice Rod ends up being. He will be disappointed at the end of it all, but probably safer to be thorough like this. We're going to see what's in the Eastern Palace big chest. Just a heart. but I believe we've seen the rest of all this from Goomba. Has Goomba been to Eastern Palace? I believe he has. Fairly certain he has. Is it betting time yet? Well, there's certainly a few interesting locations you could bet on. Most of the locations in Pod. Top of GT, Swamp Palace, although we'd have to find flippers somewhere else before we go there. Smith is still on the table since Goomba did have to abandon that. Smith would actually be pretty advantageous for Goomba, considering Relkin still has not found his myths. And it would be hilarious, just because he almost had it a while back. And the Armos will drop 20 rupees. So still nothing more for Relkin to go on. And for Goomba, who I'm assuming will be headed straight to Eastern Palace next, considering he has one item for Go Mode. It is a crystal, you can finish it, there is no reason not to go straight to Eastern Palace in this situation for him. Let's see where Relkin goes next. He doesn't have too much left on the table now that he's been going through all these dungeons. So he might try to start following some connectors. Or yes, okay, he's going back to Pod. Makes sense, he's got all 6 small keys. He can full clear if need be, which he probably will, considering even if Ice Rod's in here, Harabic Key is not. So it's very likely I'd say he ends up full clearing the dungeon. Or if not that, then doing everything except for Helmasaur. So this is new information right here. Big key chest is nothing. Stalfo's basement, I believe, is new information. Small key to Skull Woods. Goomba going for Eastern Palace, as you should in this situation. Relkin about to stumble upon his tempered sword, and then not too long after it he'll have butter as well. So the sword advantage is going to be mitigated here. At the moment, Rukarik, I would give Goomba the edge. He is up 1 big key, is about to be up a crystal, and doesn't have too much left to check. Whereas Relkin still needs to go back to the front of Turtle Rock to get his Hera big key, and needs to go full clear Hera, including the basement, which I believe he has not done. I don't think we've seen a pet check, and also that's the flippers, so looking like Swamp Palace is the next place to go. So that's probably Relkin's next stop. With those flippers, I can definitely see him bailing before killing Helmosaur, especially seeing the Swamp Palace big key. He can full clear now. It's very tempting all of a sudden. Except, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think he's found his way into Swamp yet. He still has to find the dam first in Mire area. So that's not an option for him yet, so he probably actually will stick around to kill Helmosaur. After that, though, he will need to start following some connectors he's left behind if he wants to find his way over to Mire. Which is looking like it's going to be required at this point for swamp access to possibly to your Ice Rod. On Goomba's side, Rukruk, we are missing just the Ice Rod, and on Relkin's side, Ice Rod and the Herabig Key. The Herabig Key being in the front of Turtle Rock, behind the rollers. That makes 6 crystals for Goomba. And Relkin is fixing to pick up his second pendant. Back for Smiths. Can't remember where this connector leads, but it's possible, yeah, he's back for the Smiths. Probably wants to use that Mitts advantage, if he still thinks he has the advantage anyway. At this point, it's reasonable to believe that your opponent would have already found their way over there. So this might actually be a way to keep from falling behind, in case anything's behind the Mitts.
Alright, sorry for the little interruption. I did as fast as I could, and Goomba still hasn't found the Ice Rod, so...
Nope. He's got 6 crystals, though, and not much to do, so he's going back for Smiths. Relkin picked up his second pendant. It was not in pod, but the flippers were. They were in the Harmless Hellway. So Relkin now just needs to find his way over to the Mire area to get both his Mitts and the dam, so he can access Swamp Palace. Which is where we can all reasonably suspect the Ice Rod or something blocking the Ice Rod is hiding. The Mitts trails were in Blind's Hut, which was, I believe, the left exit of Desert Palace, which, because of the Mitts being there, can only be accessed by finding connector to my area and then mirroring. So Relkin has a bit of searching to do if he wants to find that. But he's probably going to start with his flipper checks, which makes sense.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't gone back to Paradox at any point.
He was just in pod, so he kind of missed his chance to go straight through that connector, since it's, I believe you just mirror from pod, right?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, yeah, the other way around.
You have to mirror
So
to
it
get to
might,
pod.
yeah, it might not be on his mind in that case, or maybe the flippers just had him distracted enough. Looks like I missed a hint. What was the hint?
I didn't see it.
Oh. So I believe Relkin did not check the entrance of Laser Bridge. So this is something Goomba is seeing that we have not seen yet. Nothing meaningful, but still a loose end that Relkin has that he might decide to go back to before he goes back to Bumper Cave. Oh, big key to Skullwoods on the hobo. I believe that was, well, not the last one. We still are looking for the GT big key, but if any other big keys pop up, we know it's that one at this point. So nothing on the Smiths. Goomba checking the remaining bonk entrances that he was not able to due to getting boots so late. At some point, he'll probably have to head back to pod to pick up his flippers, though, since it seems that's where the seed is heading. Yeah, Hamza makes a good point. With Goomba having 6 pod keys, it's gotta be on his mind that one of the one-offs he left behind that'll lock behind 6 pod keys might have something important for him. But he's going to be checking front entrance of Hyrule Castle first, since he's in the area. Relkin as well seems to be doing the same thing. Or just going straight for the big bomb. And what kind of hint do we get? Absolutely wonderful. Such astonishing value hiding behind one of the most painful entrances in the game. Although it was considerably less painful this time, due to just the location of the big bomb being so close by. Goomba finally making the pod play again, though. Going to pick off all the remaining locations. And when he finds his flippers, he might decide not to kill Helmasaur, but given what he's been doing so far, which is being extremely thorough, I think it's probable that we'll see him finish it off. Either play is understandable, though. One item for Go mode, finding the flippers, knowing exactly how much it unlocks. I do see him at least checking the big chest before he bails, though, if he does. There's his flippers. He is checking the big chest, but it seems he plans to bail after that. If that quick swap to the mirror is any indication. Yeah, but he is going for the Helma kill. This is a time back for Relkin. Yeah, Relkin, more than anything right now, really needs to get back to the mire area. Or needs to get there at all. So he needs to get back to Pod, which unfortunately is now valueless, to follow the connector to the mire area. Which is more than a little bit out of the way for him. He is able to find Spiral Cave in the back of Skullwoods, though, being the promised connector that we read about a couple of hours ago. Which Goomba was not able to check since he did not have the fire rod on his visit here. But unfortunately, it's just the red boomerang, so there's no real value for him. Now this actually might be exactly what Relkin needs to do. This is his best chance to check that other connector. But I think it's very safe to assume that's exactly what he's here to do. So he'll follow it. He'll not follow it. Relkin, please go back outside. Okay, good. There you go, okay. So Relkin on track to find his mitts. He's gonna find the dam. He's gonna have Swamp Palace access. He's probably gonna head straight there. Whereas Goomba, with the flippers, And not really any other option is just going to go straight into Swamp Palace. So this is where we can likely expect to find our Ice Rod. If not, then we're definitely going to find something leading to it. Relkin gets his Hyrule Castle small key, finally learning that there was no way around it. That the Castle Tower play was fully required for that Moon Pearl. Book and GT Big Key. Don't forget the powder, man. Hey. The powder's gotta be in here too. We're looking for all the fetch quests and other not ice rods that we could possibly find. Yeah, I believe Relkin was the one who fake powdered. I don't believe Goomba has done that. Relkin finds his mitts, which I guess thus far have been pretty worthless. But the more important thing he's going to find here is the dam. And nothing yet out of Swamp, so Goomba probably going to decide to go back first since he's only one item. Otherwise, left side... Oh, and actually, left side's dead, so he wouldn't have to worry about that anyway. We saw the hint. Yeah. I remember now. The hints just aren't sticking with me too well for today for some reason. So 4 items left back here. We pretty much gotta find something at this point. Will it be the Ice Rod? Will it be the GT Big Key? Will it be the book?
I see we still didn't find an Ice Rod, but we found a book.
We found a book in the flute! In the back of Swamp Palace.
Sorry for the
That's
second
okay.
time, but that should be fine right now. I guess the issue was fixed.
Goomba really wants to find something other than that book, though. Preferably just his Ice Rod. Yeah, after Swamp, yeah. The ped check is also in play, since that'll be all 3 pendants for Goomba.
I mean, at this point you just blind bullet, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But do you go over there immediately, or do you follow the book first? Is the thing. And there's also the green pendant as well.
I believe they haven't checked the hints in the back store, was it? Did they have a hint about it?
They had a hint that it was a connector, I believe.
The bad part about it for Relkin is that it actually kind of drive him away from his Hera Big Key.
Yeah.
I actually think his last crystal is gonna be Hera at this point.
It's seeming pretty likely. Goomba not just gonna run over to West Death Mountain for the Ether Tablet. Starting with Bombos, it seems.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Hamza. He find the Ice Rod, kill Turtle Rock. He's gonna notice, like, crap, I didn't check those 2 chests.
Yeah, he's got to remember to go back there at some point. Like, let's hope for his sake he hasn't just forgot.
And most likely it's gonna be at the point when he's gonna do a TR, basically. When he's gonna be in the front.
Nothing on the Bombos tablet. So he probably just ends up following up with Ped into King's Tomb to turn in the Green Pendant.
At this point, you don't even activate the flute, right?
Yeah, that's just like 30 seconds you're losing. For a flute, you're gonna use like once or twice. Unless you got some really nasty connectors, it wouldn't really be worth it at this point.
Has anyone checked the Ice Balance engines yet?
I don't believe that's been. No, I think that's been checked. I don't think it was anything important though. I believe Relkin checked it. Don't think Goomba's checked it. So Green Pendant was nothing. Just 10 arrows. Goomba
What
head.
do we even have left at this point? I mean, I missed a whole bunch, but...
We have Pedestal. We have
It's actually
Bombo's
activating
Tablet.
the flute. I mean, yeah, sure. You want to go to eat that tablet? That's your way to Death Mountain. That's actually the shortest way, I guess.
We do also have the Skull Woods big chest, I believe. Or no, I think Relkin checked that when he went back through Skull Woods to find that connector, yeah. So that actually, I'm pretty sure, has been checked.
And we know that's nothing. Relkin's got the key. Wait, is Relkin going to...
He's gonna do it, yeah. He's finally gonna use Hera Big Key.
Wait. Did he open Trinex's door already? Because he doesn't have a key at the moment.
He did, yeah.
Okay. I mean, he knows what the last CR small key is anyways, but...
Yeah, but he walked by it on his way to Laser Bridge earlier and just stopped and spent the key, probably just to prevent himself from accidentally spending it somewhere else.
Yeah, fair enough.
Here comes the pedestal check from Goomba.
I'm surprised we still don't have GTP key as well.
I think we're probably going to find that sooner than we'll find the Ice Rod. Just because it's statistically slightly more likely to happen that way. Ped, the red mail. It's not useless.
It's not very useful at that point.
Yeah, it's also not an Ice Rod. Which is all Goomba really cares about at this point. So Relkin's going to be doing Swamp Palace, getting the very nice hint about left side swamp, so he's going to be able to skip all of that. And is actually going to be very close behind Goomba. Or not? Relkin? Oh, checking the other entrance first, that makes sense. Then probably going straight back in.
Purple chest. Purple chest it is. And I guess we're gonna see the tablet if it's not purple chest.
We already saw Bombos. Goomba, for some reason, did not route it with the purple chest. Don't really understand why, but that's just how he decided to do it.
I mean, you're only looking for one item. I mean, last time I raised Goomba, we were missing a Castle Tower small key. And if you actually took the red bomb with you, it would have... Like, you lost 5 minutes by doing it. You only have one check, so yeah.
Yeah.
I kinda get you do them, like, kinda...
So it's not purple chest. That leaves Ether Tablet unchecked.
Oh, Ice Palace entrance, I guess?
Yeah, Ice Palace entrance for Goomba. I believe it's been checked by Relkin, though. I could be wrong.
Not sure. Like, just got mids, right? He probably didn't go there first. I'm not sure. GT is just in the shopping mall, but we cleared everything we could here already. For now. Ooh.
Oh, Spike Cave. Yeah, actually, I don't think Relkin has done this. So this could be it. Whatever it is we're looking for next. Be it the GT Big Key or the Ice Rod. It is not, though. Looking like it's probably going to be Ether Tablet.
It has to be at that point. I don't think anything.
I don't know what else Goomba has unchecked at this point. Oh, he hasn't checked Zora's domain. Or the Hobo. So he doesn't have his Skullwood's big key yet.
He went to Catfish, but he didn't mirror to Zora. So I
think it's because he didn't have his
makes
flippers,
sense.
and he wanted to do all that stuff together. Would be my guess. But he is skipping the Hobo. Don't know if he realizes that, but...
Pretty sure he knows.
Was there a hint for the Hobo?
No, but like he has his marker and his strikers, he should know for the Hobo.
Oh,
like,
he should.
still,
Yeah, he should know he
still
still
hasn't
has
checked.
Hobo. So nothing there.
Yep, checking Hobo and having the flute out already to go to the Ether Tablet.
And we know Hobo's gonna be nothing. Just the Skullwood's big key, which I'm pretty sure we've already seen the big chest, which is also nothing.
He'll go to Ether Tablet first, I think.
Yeah.
Knowing him, he would go to
Skullwood's
Ether
is
Tablet.
more of a time investment anyway than Ether Tablet is. I think. Actually, that'd be pretty close.
Not sure why Relkin's taking that way. Oh, he hasn't checked those entrances in the Dark Vault, I guess. Yep, Ether Tablet it is.
Alright, so we should see something here, unless we're both forgetting about something, but I'm pretty sure this is the last check that neither runner has seen. That is in logic.
The GTB key or the Ice Rod itself, I guess.
Pretty much has to be one of those two
Or sounds small. Oh no, we know it's nothing. We know it's nothing, so no.
Yeah, we got a
It's
hint for
something.
that. It's a blue rupee.
So no, not that.
So, Ice Rod or GT Big Key? I'm thinking GT Big Key.
Yeah, it has to be GTB key.
It's the GT Big Key! Oh, would you look at that. Goomba probably is not too happy to see that. And is going to Skullwoods first anyway.
I mean, understandable. Like, sure. There's two really awkward checks, which are the top of GT and... Oh no, he wanted magic. I mean, both. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, that... The GT big chest is really out of the way.
Yeah,
well.
for both runners too.
So checking this one first actually made sense in his position.
Yeah, this is never a good decision for anybody to make. Like when you have... I mean, it's just come down to only GT, and it's either the GT Climb or GT Basement for the big chest only. And then you also got the back of Skull Woods that you orphaned an hour and a half ago. There are no more good decisions in this seed, and there haven't been for a long time, honestly.
Did we see Spiral Cave?
Spiral Cave is the back of Skull Woods. Relkin did that about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And unfortunately for Goomba, it's just going to be a red boomerang. But after this, he'll pretty much only have one place left to go.
GT we go. So what do you check first, Miguel, in this position? The big chest or do you climb?
In this position, you can flute immediately back to GT with very little issue. I climb first. And then if it's not at the top and it's not in the pyramid drop down, I just flute back and go down to the basement. If it were somewhere a bit nastier to get to, then I might decide on the basement first, just to not have to come back to GT.
Fair enough.
Although, you could make the argument that if you know whatever is in the pyramid dropdown is useless, whether it's the useless fairy dropdown or you've gotten a hint that it's nothing, then definitely climb first. Regardless of where it is.
I don't remember what is the dropdown. I actually think it's the useless one.
I think it might be, actually. I don't think we've seen that. I know we've seen Uncle, we've seen the Well, we've seen Lumberjack, we've seen Magic Bat, we've seen Ganon.
Steve as well. So it's actually the fairy dropdown.
Yeah, okay.
So only 4 items up there. Actually surprised we're kind of missing some stuff. Like the powder.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising how much of it we're missing. Powder, silvers, Thieves Town small key. Neither of our runners has those yet. Well, yeah, we know Thieves Town big key is trash, but just going by how much we have left to check, and like how much on the tracker we still don't have, because like there's not a whole lot left to check, and there's still a decent number of things that we have not seen yet. So Relkin's gonna go pull Pedestal, probably follow that up with Sahasrara, and then he'll have tablets. And I think that's all that's left for him, since he already went and full cleared Hera.
Actually reading the
Not
text.
even gonna pull the Pedestal. Okay. Alright, Relkin.
Rude.
It's very rude. Oh, he might be going to activate his flute before checking Sahasrara. Alright. We're at the top of GT. What's it? What are we gonna see? The compass. Piece of heart. Almost at the full 20. No ice rod though. Another compass.
Oh,
Oh boy. There's not a lot left.
Don't tell me it's the big chest. Right, there are the big chests.
50-50.
Oh.
It's the powder!
Okay.
Okay, so I guess there was
And I can
something
see.
in the drop down after all?
No,
So
there's nothing.
Goomba's continuing on.
The
to
thing
fight
is, Magic Bat is Haruka's uncle, and that's why he's doing that. That's his shortest way to.
Oh, okay.
That's actually his shortest way to the powder, to Magic Bat. I'm not sure. Frostbite. Or was
Alright,
there
so
anything on top of? No, there was nothing.
Relkin's going to be
Just the
catching
boss,
up with a few of these mitts checks. This makes sense to
No,
route it like
that's
this.
something else. Do we know about the crack in the pyramid as well?
Crack in the pyramid was nothing. Relkin did that when he was over here earlier.
Oh, that's on call actually. I
Oh,
thought
so
we saw
Uncle is
that.
here. Okay. Silvers. Alright. Silver's right next to the ice rod. Let's see it. Let's see it.
No,
Oh.
these. Oh,
Oh.
that's very insulting.
Oh, he
No,
doesn't have to worry about chasing it, but yeah, that's pretty insulting.
Knowing where the fire rod was, that's very insulting.
That's so bad. Oh my goodness.
And yeah, it's GTP chest because Relkin did fake powder here. So
Yep. So rip. Literally last location.
that's a good team name, I heard.
Not 20 hearts yet, Hamsta, but we don't know what's on Trinex. Although I'm not even sure if Goomba would have even picked up every single heart piece that he just saw to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, you sure don't.
So this is going to be Relkin's GT Big Key.
So like, easy going for it right now.
So he's also got a decision to make. He could be really close behind if he goes straight for the GT Big Chest, but
Nope.
seems like he's going to do some other stuff first.
Purple chest.
Yep. So the way this is going right now, it looks like Goomba's got a pretty insurmountable lead here. Because we pretty much know Ice Rod's in the big chest. And after that, there's only one stop before Ganon.
Yeah, technically I got one required with Ice Rod in GD Big Chest, with Pen and Swamp actually required. So you get to the back to get the book.
Yep.
15 minutes? Yeah,
Yep.
definitely at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes ago we had like 3 items for Go Mode, and they both basically showed up at the same time on different ends. And then the Ice Rod happened. But here it is, about 45 minutes later.
Wow.
Goomba enters Go Mode at 2:23. What a disgusting seed.
It is very disgusting.
That's alright, Norinato. This is a very entertaining seed to watch. Just probably not one to play.
You know, the funniest part is I actually left, but I didn't miss anything. I left for like 20 minutes.
You ran an errand for 20 minutes, came back, nothing changed. It's pretty good.
Because I basically saw everything. Because when I came back, Goomba got like the flute and the book. So I actually didn't miss. The only thing I missed was the flippers and pop.
So Relkin might finally be headed over to GT. The chase that big key.
So
And we'll see
tough
what he
decision.
decides on. So does he climb or oh, he's going
No.
straight for the big chest. So he will save a considerable amount of time over Goomba here.
Not like, I mean, at this point, Goomba's very far ahead.
Yeah. At this point, Goomba's got to take a few Ganon falls in order for Relkin to still be in this. But he's not going to finish quite as far behind. Because like that's a roughly 3 or 4 minute difference to climb. No 20 hearts though. That makes me sad.
Yeah, Hamza, but I think you have more equipment right here, like 19 hearts and the red mail and the battle sword and silver. I don't think it's gonna die.
I don't know, man. With the equipment he's got, Scan and Fight looks a little sketchy. I'd be pretty scared if I went up to Ganon with only Butter Sword, Red Mail, and 19 hearts. So Relkin enters Go mode at 226. Roughly 4 or 5 minutes after Goomba, I think. Maybe a bit shorter than that. Goomba enjoying a nice, simple, effortless Butter Sword Silver's Ganon fight.
We sure did find those silvers.
Yes, we did. You know, logically, you're required to climb GT for the silvers to beat Ganon. Logically.
And yeah, Uncle had silvers, but Uncle was also in the pyramid. So.
Yup. And GG for Goomba finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 2:22:52.
GG Goomba.
Wait, yeah. Or sorry, not 2:22, 2:27. I misread that.
I can't wait to have Goomba here.
He's gonna be so salty. He's gonna be very, very salty about that ice rod. I can already tell. We also probably should ask him about his thoughts on the late glove and what all was behind it. Relkin, meanwhile, heading up to pick up his 7th crystal here. And will very shortly after be following Goomba's footsteps to the Ganon fight.
Hello.
GG's, Goomba.
42 minutes. That is the amount of time that passed between me collecting my 6th crystal and finding the ice rod.
Not even the second to last Go mode item,
minutes.
but the 6th crystal. It's a long hunt for an item.
Literal, absolute last spot in the entire game.
I heard that's a nice team name, last location is.
Yep.
Relkin had it pretty much most of the same way for the most part. The only thing I think he did not do that you did was the climb. He, instead of going all the way up the gauntlet, went for the big chest first.
I thought about it. I was also monkcasting pretty hard about the powder. I was like, oh god, what if you could just fake powder the ice rod this whole time? But then I
he did
figured
fake powder pretty early, so
if he had done that, I would have lost about 30 minutes ago. So he probably didn't do that.
I wanted to ask you, how did you like the logic behind the moon?
that was pretty good logic.
Okay, so I did a bit of a double take when I got the moon pearl, and then I was like, okay, so the Hyrule Castle small key's probably down on South Shore, and then I got both castle tower keys in Misery Mire, and I was like, okay, so the boots are in the light world, good to know.
So, like, relkin actually got the boots very early. I mean, we were like, when you found the pearl, we were like, yeah, sure, it has to be the Art Castle small key, right? And then relkin found the boots, and then you were starting from Misery Mire small keys. And then we saw the castle. We saw Aga Tower as well. It's like, it's still the Hyrule Castle small, right?
I was pretty sure Relkin had the boots way earlier than I did, but I feel like my route worked out pretty well anyway. I like the part where I didn't save and quit to the old man for about an hour after rescuing him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you definitely
Worked out really nicely too. Because when I finally did save and quit to him, he was right next to 2 full clearable crystal dungeons.
Yeah, because of your early routing and not finding the glove until after an hour in, you were a little bit behind for a while, up until the point where you'd caught up with everything, basically. Once you'd found your boots and your glove and your other sword, you were basically neck and neck, because he just ended up retracing your steps on a lot of things. The only difference being that he didn't have to orphan quite as much, such as the basically every single entrance lock behind the boots and the gloves.
So. Single dip pod, I think. I mean,
well, he
went
dipped
there
for
first.
one item and then left and then went back later and single dipped. If you consider that a single dip.
That's a single dip for me.
Yeah. I'm just glad I went for the save scum in Hyrule Castle. I usually don't. But it seemed appropriate.
I mean, like, where Hyrule Castle was basically next to Link's house, there's no way you're not scumming, especially after checking out the cell and having nothing. I don't see how you cannot scum here. Hyrule Castle is in a very good spot to scum.
Just for a second, GG's to Relkin, finishing in second place with an initial SRL time of 2:33:08. See if we can't get him in for an interview.
Yeah, that one was ugly.
Yeah, that one was a pretty nasty one. Great if the ice rod were anywhere else, because that would have been a potential sub 2.
I mean, honestly, if the ice rod wasn't quite that stupid and it was like anywhere else in the city other than just sitting in Eastern Palace, that seed would have been terrible for a race. Like, absolutely terrible. Would have been such high variance. Like, I'd rather just put all the progression in the Crystal Dungeons to make it, like, just easy for everyone, or make it the dumbest thing ever. So everyone full clears. Anywhere in between, and it's too much variance.
The worst part is, you sometimes get a hint for GTP chest, but of course, when it has something, you don't have it.
Yep. But I mean, even if I did know it was there, I still basically last location the GT big key.
Also, like, you actually dipped into Teeth Down with the Smith, with you? Without the small key?
Yeah.
I mean, that was rewarded with a fire rod, but still.
Like, with where Thieves Town was, I didn't want to come back, so I decided to just do it and leave the big chest.
You didn't know at that time that it had nothing. It wasn't desert, right? The hint wasn't desert, and you still haven't.
Yeah, I mean, there was a hint, I just hadn't seen it yet. because surprise, surprise, I didn't go into the front of Desert Palace for like 2 hours.
I was actually surprised you went into Skullwoods so early.
Yeah, that was really surprising. It caught us both off guard because you didn't have the big key, you didn't have the fire rod. It's like, this is not Goomba playing, this is somebody else. It's an imposter.
Yeah, no, I just felt like going to Skullwoods because I felt like I was missing a lot of stuff. Like if it was bullshit woods, I was out. I was just out immediately, but it wasn't. So yeah, I don't know. I decided to just play it really safe in this one because I figured I was probably favored to win. If I was playing against, I don't know, like Drac, Bonta, Korek, someone like that, I probably would have taken a lot more risks. But
I mean, it's understandable. So while we're still waiting on Relkin to join us in the commentary booth,
I'm right here.
oh, hello Relkin, GG's.
GG.
Man, it sure would have been nicer if that ice rod came a lot earlier than it did.
I would have.
I'm sure both of you could agree on that.
I mean, at least you didn't climb. I mean, you did not silvers, but you didn't climb.
I
Yeah,
did. That was fun.
That's about the one thing you didn't do that Goomba did.
Yeah.
Both
Which is to
ended
say
up
it's the
more
one
or less
thing
full
you didn't
clearing
do
otherwise.
because I did literally everything in the seed. Ugh.
Was a
That was-
nasty one.
That was dumb.
So I'm curious, Relkin, how you were feeling pretty early on in that seed, just because you had a pretty decent lead due to finding an early glove, and by extension, you got your sword, you got the bow, you got the boots. I'm curious how you were feeling around that time when you were still stumbling across all those things.
Well, I'm sure you would definitely be feeling really good in that situation, which I was. But after that, it all dwindled down, and it was like between like 3 minutes between progression pieces, and that's when I started to get worried.
Yeah. That
yeah.
seed definitely started out very front-loaded, and then everything was just kind of scattered here and there until...
I mean, I was Ice Rod for Go mode at like 132, I think.
Yeah, I know I was ice rod for go mode like before 2 hours. I know that.
I wasn't feeling great after Maya, honestly, because when I got both Castle Tower keys, I knew that the boots were just sitting somewhere in the light world and I'd missed them. I wasn't feeling great about that. Which is why I kind of prioritized checking light world spots for a bit, instead of continuing in the dark world. Then I found the glove and I was like, okay, so you're telling me my boots are in the well, got it. And it turns out my boots are in the well.
Surprise, surprise. You also enjoyed a much cleaner early route, orphaning fewer things as a result of that early boots-glove combination.
Yeah, I was not quite so lucky. I had to backtrack for a number of entrances.
And the thing is, like, Relkin didn't go back to Paradox for so long, so he didn't find the Mario connector.
Yeah, that was the one thing. That was I think the major thing that really affected Relkin in this seed, is that he took a long time to find that connector, which unfortunately had the dam behind it, which locked your book, which locked your GT Big Key, which locked your Go mode.
Yeah.
I also had the mitts, although I don't think they actually did anything.
They did absolutely nothing, except keep you out of the mire area, which was pretty much effectively done anyway by the fact that the flute was in Swamp Palace and the dam was in the mire area.
Yeah.
Like, why would I choose to do connectors if I had like 4 dungeons to full clear, or 5 dungeons?
Right.
That's right.
That is a very good point, and I don't fault you at all for not
Yeah.
having checked that connector, but it's just unfortunate the way it turned out, that you went to pod as relatively early as you did, and still had a bunch of other stuff to work with that you just didn't end up
Yeah.
going back for a long time.
If I just had one more key the first time I went to pod, that probably would have been a pretty solid time 6. I don't think I would have ever gone back. At that point. So I would have had the flippers, and I would have just done swamp and gone from there.
It still comes down to how long you want to wait before you dive back into GT for one item.
Yeah.
At which point, you might go back to pod before you do that. Really depends.
Maybe. Although I think if I still had a bunch of stuff open, and I committed to GT, I probably would check the big chest before climbing. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. In any case, long story short, it was a pretty awful seed. But we had a pretty good time watching, didn't we?
I'm sure you did. I had a pretty good time playing it for the first hour and a half or so.
Back when we still thought it would be a good one.
Yeah, back when we thought the ice rod wasn't locked behind, like... I don't know, the ice rod was probably like 10 spheres deeper than the first 6 crystals. That's pretty cool.
I don't know, man. Didn't seem pretty cool to me.
Fair enough.
So next round, like I think Drag can top lap are playing tomorrow, and the winner
Yes.
of
Winner of
that
that plays
T-Trade.
T-Trade. And the winner
And
of
the winner
that
of
plays
that faces Goomba.
And as for you, Relkin, that they're kind of far behind because like there's like one.
Yeah, loser's bracket is much tougher to get through.
Losers is lagging behind a bit right now. Let me take a look.
It's like
It is very far.
Okay,
Like
so Relkin is going
two
to
rounds. You have to wait
losers.
2 rounds before you actually get to play your next round.
yeah, in a,
Three
who
rounds.
knows?
3 rounds before you actually like it's Chitsy and then Freddy are playing tomorrow, I think.
Hey, Megawatt, it could be you.
It could be me. That'd imply I beat Firame, though.
Stranger things have happened, I guess.
Potentially Firame, potentially myself or Korek, potentially Hitsuyan or Freddy or Haunted Quest.
There's a lot of potential opponents.
Yeah.
A
Still
lot.
early enough. Anyway, moving on into tonight, we have one more match at, I believe, 7:30 Eastern Time. Losers bracket round 4 between Chex Human and Dataplet. Should be very interesting. Both of them are very experienced entrance runners, and it actually does not have any commentators or trackers signed up for that yet. So if we have any potential commentators out there, please go ahead and submit your applications, and maybe we can get that race restream, because I can promise you it'll be a good one. Aside from that, I think we just want to shout out our trackers, Siberian and Norinato, for helping us out today. And do you guys have any last thoughts on the seed?
Good games, Goomba.
GG, I hope you get a better seed in your next round. I hope I also get a better seed in my next round.
I have to wait for your next round, both of you. So you have time.
Yeah, well.
So Goomba, am I banned from restreaming and rolling seeds for you again?
No, that was quite all right. I think I'll survive.
It was good practice.
I had a mirror. That's really all that matters.
Okay, well, I guess unless anyone has anything else, we will call it a night. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Take care. Bye.